music. He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love,
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is just a review of the movie that was on Netflix. It is Roxanne, about a rapper from back in the early 80s, through the 80s, honestly. Who did the Roxanne Revenge response to the song Roxanne, I want to be your man. So yeah, I just watched the movie today, and it was a good movie. If any of you have not seen it, it is worth watching again. It is on Netflix. It's called Roxanne. We kind of see her, how she got into the music industry, the things she had to go through, how a lot of people played her, and how she kind of had a rough life. She, was born, well, not born, she was raised in like Queensbridge, the same place where Nas is from. And it's cool to see that they kind of, he's basically in the movie. There's 2 points where they have her talking to him. He's young, he's Nasir. So that's really cool. But we see that Nia Long plays her mother. And honey, Nia Long, girl, I don't, look, I'm trying to move my camera around a little bit. Nia Long, played that role, honey. I mean, she was a bitch of a mother, but at the same time, she was a good mother here and there. She had her moments, and I liked the movie. We see how in the beginning she's like 9 years old, and her and her best friend are like, running through the streets or whatever, and she is like the battle rap queen in her area or whatever. And she's like 9, and her mom was like, Mom, can I cuss? And she's like, I don't care what you do as long as you make that $50. So it was a thing of, you kind of see how her mother was like there for her, but still like, do whatever you're gonna do, just, make this money or whatever. And I'm like, well, okay, I guess it's not horrible, it's not good, it's not bad. We do see how she gets a little bit older. I think it starts on like maybe 82. I was born in 82, so that's the crazy part. So in 82, she was around 13 years old, and she ain't look 13. She did not look 13. We do see her mom has a boyfriend. Now at this point, I'm like, her mama seems stupid. Okay, we see her mom that she has she has a total of 4 kids, 4 girls. One girl, her name was Latifah. I kept on saying, the Queen Latifah. That's neither here nor there. And the mama boyfriend, I think the dude name was Dave. His name was Dave. And, him and the mama in a relationship, like I guess he lived there or whatever. And they keep talking about buying the house. And, I'm like, girl, I don't think you should be going through that with that man or whatever. And he come to the house and he's saying like, I don't think we're going to be able to get the house. We ain't got the money for it. And then she go and she pull out a manila envelope. Anytime anyone pulls out a thick manila envelope, it's money in there. It's either money, cocaine, or receipts, honey. And I don't think it was no goddamn receipts. And it's money. All this like hard, like cash, okay? Dollar motherfucking bill. So I'm looking like, don't do it, Peggy. Peggy, don't get this man your money, Peggy. Peggy, don't. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Lipstick of the day. It is Kat Von D. I've wore it before. Is it Roxy? Yeah, this is Roxy. So yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, when she gave him the money, and he like, where you got this money from? She's like, I've been saving for a long time. I've been saving here, there, and everywhere. And, I just saved up. And she gives him the money. Bitch, why did you give him the fucking... I was like, don't do it, Peggy. Peggy, just don't do it. Peggy gave that man that money, and she's giving him the money so that he can get them a house. And I'm like, okay. Leave it right there. We do see how at this point Roxanne, her friends, just out in these streets hanging out, and at one point she was hanging out at like a store, and the man walked in. His name was Cross, and I said, this is gonna be the man who in one way or the other is gonna ruin her life. I can tell when a person who's gonna ruin someone's life come in, because it just feels a certain kind of way, okay? And his name was Cross or whatever. He came in with a kid, and he gave her like $15 to watch his kid when he gonna make a phone call. First of all, how you know she's not a kidnapper? How you gonna leave your kid with someone? But whatever. And he like is gone for a long time. So then she missed curfew, and she get back to the house, and her key wouldn't work because her mama will lock the door, because that's how mama said, my door is locked from the inside at 9 p.m. If you're asking in the house, then you can't come in. And so Shantae had to knock on the door, and her mama like, you out here in these streets being fast, and like, what did I say? Yeah, so she's like, you gonna be in these streets? You're gonna be in these streets. And she closed the door and leave her outside. Now again, at this point in time, Shantae is like 13. Okay, she's a fucking kid. But I almost get, okay, you think you grown? I'm gonna let you see what grown is like. You gonna not have nowhere to go. I had red lipstick on earlier. It's a little bit on my cheek, but whatever. And she's like, I'm just gonna let her deal with it. And while I get that on one level, you want to teach them a lesson, but she's still only 13 years old. Come on now, mama. And they like, come on now, Peggy. She like, this key locked my door at 9 p.m. That go for anybody, including your ass. So, I see Dave let her in the house. I'm like, okay, well, Dave ain't all that bad. Yes. So the next thing that we see, it's moving day. The whole family gonna move. She gonna move. Mama gonna move. All the kids moving. Dave gonna move. They all packed up, waiting for Dave to come get them. I said, bitch, Dave ain't coming. And sure enough, Dave asked to not show up. And I said, girl, when that man walked up in the house and you said to him, tell me you love me, and the fact that he couldn't just say it back just outright, I'm looking like something up with that man. I don't know what, but I don't like that man. And I see why Dave left their ass hot and dry and never came to get them to move. And I'm like, so the mama mad, okay? The mama mad a lot. But I'm like, I saw him taking that money a fucking mile away, bitch. I saw it coming. The mom, like, I can't believe he would do this to me. And, that was $20,000. You gave that man, girl, when she said, I can't believe he took my money. You gave it to him. You gave that man 20 grand. In the 80s, 20 grand in the 80s is the equivalent to $100,000 now. So you gave that man $20,000. Y'all know I had a flavor beer earlier. I need to stop doing it to just keep drinking water. But yeah, you gave him 20 grand. I wasn't surprised he left. He looked like the kind of dude who you give him $5, he gonna be gone for a week. Girl, bye. And she's kind of upset. So our friend like, just calm down. Just look, drink this, you'll feel better. Now the mama before was a worker. She was working in the houses and cleaning up stuff and doing whatever she needed to do. Nurse, doctor, whatever. Not a doctor, but she was like, how many asses I wiped, how many floors I cleaned. So she's been scratching and surviving, honey, in the ghetto, trying to just make ends meet, and she saved 20 grand to get a house. But I thought to myself, if you had 20 grand saved, mama, you didn't need that man to get a house. You could have taken the 20 grand and went and got a house your goddamn own stuff. 20 grand? Girl, first of all, if I save 20 grand, it's going to be in a bank account. I can't have 20 grand around my house and I live in the projects. What if, no, not me. No, thank you. No, ma'am. No, sir. So she just saying how, she's upset or whatever. How she been trying to get out the ghetto. It took her so long to get it together. She was just basically upset. And at that point, we see how her friend basically introduces her to drinking. And not even on a, let me make you an alcoholic. It was a thing of, I see how stressed you is. Here, take a swig of this. And just but as you know, everybody can't take one quick hit of a cigarette. Everyone can't take a quick puff of a blunt. Everyone can't do one line of cocaine. Everyone can't take one sip of liquor. It affects people in different ways. Man, look, one of my exes was a flat out alcoholic. The shit is dangerous. Hold on, story time. So we see her mama take her first drink, and we see how Shantae realizes things is gonna be different, and we kind of see how at that point the mama is like mad at Shantae for it was a weird dynamic of, I'm mad at my oldest daughter, like, see, look at her, and I got her braces, because you kept sucking your thumb, I had to get you braces. You the only girl in the hood with braces on. Blah, blah, blah. Girl, this your kid, and she needed braces. Get over it. So it was that whole weird thing, Um, we see how she then goes back to battle rapping, basically. And the rest of the story, because I don't want to go point by point by point, the rest of it is her having to realize that she can rap, and she's trying to get in it, out of it, in it, out of it. At one point we see how she was rapping for doing battle raps for $100 or $250 per battle. She was also boosting. I'm like, you a goddamn rapper, a booster from stores, you boosting clothes and shoes and stuff, and you also a mother figure to her sisters. Why? Because her mama keep drinking. Her mama is not like an alcoholic, and it's a whole thing. And we do see how she kind of stopped going to school, and her mama didn't like that. When her mama found out that she wasn't going, her mama, drunk and all, said, look, mama, I gotta make this money, we need money. Her mama said, I don't give a fuck about that goddamn money, girl. Take your ass to school, I want you in school. And I said, it was a thing where we saw her mama kind of wasn't shit, because she was a little bit of a drunk right now. She was kind of depressed or whatever. She was kind of mean to the daughter a little bit. But at the end of the day, she was just a tough mom. And I think because of the thing that she went through, she wasn't handling it right, but she didn't even think that she was being mean to her daughters. And so it was that whole balance of, she a bad mom, but she a good mom, because she's like, don't you be out in these streets skipping school. I don't want no social worker coming to my goddamn house. Get your ass in school. And whether she wanted her in school so that she didn't get in trouble for not having her in school, or if she wanted her in school so that she can get an education, either way it goes, she didn't want her in them streets. I'm like, okay, well, that's a good thing. But we see Peggy ass was drinking the whole time. And because I think she was still mad about the whole Dave thing. We do see, because how her mama was like, well, you know what? My door is still locked at 9 p.m. So you can't be in these streets. But again, she's only 13. I'm like, you shouldn't be out late anyway at 13, honestly. But she didn't look 13. Like this whole movie, the girl looked 25. She did not look like a teenager at all. And we then see, because she's frustrated with her mom's rules, she decided she gonna move out and live with her friend Tone, and she gonna pay him $50 a week to sleep on his couch. And I'm like, at 13? Okay, girl. So we then see how she run back into the dude Cross, who she met in that store that time. Who I'm like, he gonna ruin her life, because he ain't pop back up for no goddamn reason. And she was trying to use a payphone didn't work. He let her use a cell phone. So it's that whole thing where we see them have their interactions here and there. And then we kind of see how she is celebrating her 14th birthday, because she bought a cake that got the number 14. I'm like, oh, because she's only 14 years old. And she basically living up in Tone House, kind of being a drug dealer. I'm like, at 14, you living in this man's house, paying him $50 a week, doing, selling drugs, and you battle rapping in these streets, and you're 14 years old. To me, it's just crazy. So we do see at one point, she on the couch laying down in her pajamas or whatever after she turned 14. Tone come I came to get something out the drawer, whatever. He go in there and get it. But she then get up and she walked to the kitchen, and when she walked past, he look at her as if he never noticed how much body she had. So I think that was a way for them to show that she had grew. Okay, things had grown on her. And he was like, it'd be guys around her, you can't be dressed like that, you gotta wear some real pajamas. And she was like, these same pajamas I've been wearing since I've been here. You ain't never had an issue with it. Like, what you talking about? This is what I always wear. And it was some shorts and a t-shirt, but at the same time, it showed her titties and it showed her ass. And I don't think it could have been a thing where she didn't realize that her body had got thicker, and he noticed that she no longer looked like a kid, even though in real life she never did. And we see him snort some coke, do a whole line or whatever. However you snort coke, I have no idea. And he was like, he talking about the pajama stuff, and she's like, all right, whatever. She then going back to the room on the couch to lay down, and he get up behind, trying to kiss, touch on her, and she stop, this fool, stop, don't be much, what's wrong with you? He what's wrong with you? Because I guess he high on coke. He tried to rape that girl. Threw her down on the couch, trying to pull her clothes off. She fighting. He stop fighting me. I never understand when someone's taking it from someone, when you see the person saying, no, don't stop. I don't get how you don't stop. Because he didn't stop initially. Luckily, he had a moment of clarity, and he looked at her and he saw what he was doing. And it's as if he realized what he was doing. And he said, you know what, you gotta go. You gotta get out. You can't stay no more. She's like, what? I paid the rent. Why? I know I don't have nowhere else to go. He like, I don't care, you gotta go. Fine, okay, fine. If you want, then just do whatever you need to do, but I can't, I don't have anywhere else to go. And he still made her leave. And I felt it was crazy that she was willing to let him take it, because she felt like she was 14 and she felt like she had nowhere else to go. So we see that she ended up going back to her mama's house, and her mom at first thought, your ass out there being grown, you realize it ain't all that. But you let her back in the house. And then we see basically she was like walking to the laundry room to do some laundry or whatever, and the dude from across the projects say, hey, you still rapping? I got this beat I want you to rhyme on or whatever. And she recorded the whole Roxanne Revenge song. And she popping. The song on the radio, she in the newspaper, everything, like everybody, it's the whole thing. So now she popping. Her mama didn't know. Her mama found out. Her mama like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I like the song, but your name ain't Roxanne, your name Shantae. So it was a thing of seeing how she kind of went from being like nobody at all to recording one song and then becoming, as we call it now. I'm sorry, my phone is this. She became basically like a neighborhood celebrity, and her having to deal with that and like doing but I'm like, she was 15 years old, and it was just weird to see how they had her in these areas that, to me, I'm like, she was too young to be there. But this is back in the 80s, and we do see that she had one dude who cared about her. His name was Antoine, and when Cross came back trying to talk to her, dude was like, dog, go ahead about your business. She's a kid. Go ahead on. And then when, her and Antoine, her best friend, in the car, he like, look, I'm going to look out for you. I want to protect you. I don't want to touch you. As long as I'm here, no one going to ever put their hands on you. And when he said that, I said, Cross going to be beating her ass, for one. And Antoine either going to get killed or he going to go to jail. It's going to be one of the two. Because I'm like, it's only, they emphasize certain stuff to let you know certain stuff. I'm like, that's gonna be crazy. And sure enough, the next thing we know, Antoine got locked up for beating somebody up. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. And it was weird because he got locked up. Then here come Cross back in the picture. Hey girl, hey, let's hang out. We see her on the elevator with him going back to his house. He done gave her a goddamn old mink coat. And she do say to him how she's not ready for sex. But she's young. She said, I'm not ready for sex. But she's young. And he did say, how how old I am? And she said, yes. Now, they never said in the movie, to my recollection, how old he was. But he was clearly older than her. And I don't mean like he was 19. I mean like he 30. Okay? He not, you know what I'm saying? And there's never a time when someone that's in their 30s should be dating a teenager. Because when I was 17, I knew a guy who was 30. Hold on, thing. But yeah, it's just not, it's not cool or whatever. So they together now. Okay, they together. She doing shows. She going on tour. She battle rapping people. Some people not letting her in the club because she's too good to battle rap. So it's just all this other crazy stuff. But it's still her and him dealing with each other. You see a little bit that he's possessive, for one. You see a little bit how he jealous. There was one part where someone said to her, Roxanne, how can I be your man? And he got jealous, and then he was mad at her. He like accidentally slapped her. So it was these little iotas of he's abusive, and she kind of just dealing with it. And I'm like, okay, we know he's possessive, he's abusive. So then we see her going back home, and her mama seeing who she dating or hang around with. And honey, Mama Peggy wasn't for the bullshit at the fuck all. She was like, it was just so funny. Because before she was on tour, and like the promoter dude played her and told her, well, I paid so-and-so and I paid so-and-so. All I had left was your money, but somebody stole it. So she never got paid. And but it kind of show how throughout her career she got fucked over. Whether it was the DJ who helped her make the song didn't pay her right, or they kind of used her to get Like if people liked her and wanted to give her, like one guy wanted to give her a car, and because she's too young, they can't put no car in her name. Oh, put it in my manager's name. So her manager and I got a car. You know what I'm saying? It was stuff like that. And so it just shows how she got fucked over her whole career basically. And when she do get back to meeting up with her mom still look a little angry. Look like she, you know what I'm saying, need a drink or had a drink or whatever. And, you know, she ain't feeling cross. And she looking at him and she know he trouble. And she know, as she said, Shantae, I told you before, when you in these streets, you know, somebody, if you shit too much, shit gonna get on your, it was some analogy about shit getting on your ass and he is shit and he all over you. And I'm like, okay, girl. She like, and she not for the bullshit. And I said, see, this is when we seen that even though she had a weird way of protecting her daughter and trying to make her daughter stronger, she's still her mama. And she's still like, I ain't for the bullshit. So she's like, you know what I'm saying? You nasty motherfucker. You know how old she is? She is 16 years old. And you look old enough to be my age. I'm looking like, and he did look like they could be the same age. And then, you know, she was like, you know what I'm saying? I wondered, you know, who the fuck you are and why you in my motherfucking face. Meaning, why you here with my daughter? And she's like, are you fucking him? Is you fucking this man? And then he like, well, you look like you, like an angry black woman and you want her to be miserable like you. The same thing any dude say to a mama to piss her off and make the daughter think your mama just don't want you to be happy. That's what it is. And you know what I'm saying? When she's like, is you fucking him? Is you fucking him? He get mad and he get up and leave. And then Shantae ass follow behind him saying, I want to move with you to Memphis. I said, oh, girl, just don't do it. At this point, she's not even really in the music industry really because she got played on that tour. And we see it go from her, it show her having like her first orgasm. They didn't show any kind of sexual singing in normally, but they show her having that feeling of having an orgasm. We see her face or whatever, and it go from her. It was like a 6-second scene. Her having an orgasm, she's screaming out with an orgasm. Then she's screaming out because she's in labor. Then she's screaming out because he's beating her and dragging her across the floor. So it went from orgasm to baby. So I'm being beaten. It was a great transitional scene to me because it shows how one moment of pleasure can give you a whole bunch of motherfucking pain. So you had that good old sex, had that baby in that painful way, and now he beating your ass. And I'm like, it's just crazy. But we also saw at the same time Peggy realizing my daughter being weak and chasing this man, and I'm sitting around, I'm drunk. So we see like her pouring out her liquor. So okay, at least that means that she's trying to get sober. It was weird because all of that, her having a baby and stuff, it's like 4 years later. She went from being like 16 to like being 20. And we see us seeing him beat her up and dragging her. Bitch, is you crazy? And I'm like, just dragging her and beating her ass as if she's nothing. And we see her. He was beating her up, punching her face. Then she was like taking photos outside. And the photographer kept trying to say, can you smile? And she said, I can barely talk. I can't move my jaw. Because he didn't beat her ass so much. Her jaw is fucked up. So, and she got her braces still, as we see. And that same janky ass promoter who played her years earlier is back saying, you know, the record label want to sign you. You know, they want you back. We need you to go on tour. It's going to be better this time. And she said, look, fuck you. Fuck rap. Fuck Roxanne and Shantae. You know, all ever did for me was making me get my ass beat every day. Meaning, ever since then, I've been with this man. He been beating my ass every day. But I'm like, girl, just leave. Please leave this crazy ass man. And to see her talking and her jaw is like wired shut, which to me was crazy as fuck. But I'm like, but we see that she's still with him. She still goes home to him, and you know her son is there too. And she in the tub, like just emotional or whatever. And he come in, you know, I'm gonna hit you because I love you. You know, if I didn't care, I wouldn't hit you. And that's the stupidest shit. I have never had a man tell me that. Even the guy who I was with that was abusive, that was never his excuse. It was something completely different. That'll be a whole other story time. And she was still saying how I'm just tired or whatever. And she come out the bathroom and she's like, you know what? It's just so much going on. It's just too much. My mom needs help. My sisters need me. It's too much. It's quits with us. And he like, ain't no quits, bitch. And she tried to run. He tried to catch her. She hit him and he choked her out. Literally choked her out. And she woke up in the hospital with like broken ribs and just beaten up. And the nurse was like, your father was here and said we can, it'll be okay for you to be released or whatever. Your father, she's like, my father. She's like, yeah, your father, Mr. Cross and your little brother. And she realized, the nurse don't even realize that's supposedly her boyfriend because he's old enough to be her parent. So we look up and her mom and her sisters are there too. And they come in. So her mom was like, what happened to you? Because again, she in this hospital bed. She's beaten up. She's bruised. She's hurt. And it's like, what happened to you? And I like how she was honest. She said, I just wanted to be a kid. I wanted to be a kid my whole life. But I lost you. I lost my mom. I lost my friend when you took that first drink. Meaning, the minute you started drinking, you became a completely different person. And I lost my childhood. And, excuse me. As much as you're wondering what happened to me was you. You changed, which made me had to change, which changed the whole thing of my lifeline. Everything changed the minute you took that drink. And her mama finally realized, damn, like for the past 4, 5, 6 years, I have not been a mother to my child. And now look where she is because I started drinking. And, we see her climb in the bed with Shantae. And she holds her daughter, Shantae cries, mama cries. And mama just says, I'm sorry. And I was, bruh. 4, 5 tears came down because it was such a real moment to see a mother and daughter had. Because if you think about it, a lot of women, females, know exactly what that's like. I'm lucky enough where I have never had to deal with that with my mom. My mom has never been on drugs and drinking or nothing like that. She's always been a great, great mom. But I have friends who have experienced that, so I'm like, I can feel for them. So it was a great moment to see Shantae able to hug her mama again, her mama to realize, damn, I fucked up. Trying to be this hard, stern mom, I still in one way or another fucked up. And I didn't force her down this path, but I also didn't hinder her from going down the path either. And, because she said, when you took that drink, everything fell on me. And I was no longer a kid, and that's what happened to me. And I'm like, Lord Jesus. So from there, it kind of ends with she leaves him alone, but he got their son still, and she wants the son back. And his fool tell her, you can't leave me alone. We're gonna be together forever, and I should have beat your ass some more. It's all your fault. You should have kept your mouth shut. We got all this stuff going on. I'm like, bitch, fuck you. Look, me and him would have been scrapping because he had the balls and the audacity and the unmitigated gall to say to her, it's your fault. Bitch, it ain't my fault you beat me. Fuck you. And she said, look, all I want is my son. That's all you want? Fine. If you want him, give me $10,000. So he trying to sell the goddamn on baby. And she like, of course she don't have no money. But we then see she go to a lawyer to have a lawyer draw up some kind of paperwork so that he would have to sign it saying, he is giving her full custody of the kid in exchange for this 10 grand. And the lawyer like, that's illegal. That's like modern day slavery. You can't pay for people. You can't buy people. Like, you can't do that. But he still helps her. And we then see where she got the money from. Tone, the dude who tried to rape her in the beginning, he apologized that he fucked up. He never meant to do that. It's crazy. And he gave her the money, and then even offered to say, look, I'll give you the 10 grand for you to give him, and then after you give it to him, just walk away. We'll kill him, and I will still give you the 10 grand for you to keep. And she said, nah, I don't want to do that. I just want my son back, and it is what it is. And we do see her going to get her son, giving him the money, him saying, you'll always be my woman. Get the fuck on, Cross. Go the fuck on somewhere. And she back in the hood. They about to move to a new home. Her mom, her sisters, and her mom is there. Her mom looks healthier, like she ain't drinking. She's still sassy now. She's still real fucking sassy. We see Shantae's braces are off. We see the Nas character comes back. Where earlier in the movie, when he tried to rap for her when she was first popular or whatever, he couldn't get it together. But now this is a couple years later, and he's in the beginning he said, oh, my name was Nasir, and next time my name was Nas. I'm like, okay, Nasir, and he raps and he's good this time. And I'm like, okay, you have to see that whole thing between them two, which is cool. And it kind of just show how she went through all of that, but she still, at the end of the day, she got her child, she got her mom, her family, and she's okay. And I'm like, it was a really good movie. I really liked it. So yeah, if you guys have not watched it, it's still interesting to watch. And it's also like if you have teenage daughters, let them watch that shit. Let them watch that and see what not to get involved in. Or if you a parent who's in around drinking sometime, stop drinking. At least to the extent that her mom, Miss Peggy, was doing. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out. So yeah, I liked it. I'm going to see Acrimony this weekend, the movie with Taraji P. Henson. I'm going to review that as well. And I'm doing Empire and Star and Black Ink Crew. And what else comes on tomorrow? And all kind of stuff this week. So yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.